Hey guys, Kurt from Hostile. Today we're going to talk about something really cool we're about to do over at Hostile Conditioning. We focus a lot on training, conditioning, mobility, functional strength, all those awesome things, right? And a lot of people improve dramatically when they first start, and they're excited the first 30, 60, 90 days, but we want to do something to keep challenging people, to keep you wanting to work towards improving, right? So once you've got past the initial level of better fitness and strength, we want you to keep having a reason to keep coming in, keep working hard, and maintain technique and maintain form. So we had been doing some challenges, weekly challenges for some of the 6-week transformation groups that we were doing, namely the Silverback Blueprint and the Femme Fatale Lady Black Dress, where every week they had a challenge to do, and that really sparked a cool excitement in the gym where people were being tested on what they were doing and stuff. So really good. So I was looking for some stuff and I found this cool company called Fitranx. And what Fitranx does. Awesome guys, so the first challenge that we're going to do is the TRX row. I'm going to hand you off to Coach Greg and Coach Rox. We're going to demonstrate it. Greg, take it from here.
Alright, so with Coach Rox, she's going to demonstrate the 45-degree inverted row, or as we like to call it here at Hostile, the TRX row. So she's going to establish a 45-degree angle between her body and the floor. From here, she wants to make sure that she has a nice flat back, connected down to the lower back, squeezing the glutes, so everything remains in a nice straight line. Not rounding in the shoulders, good form, holding up, locked out elbows up at the top. Now the one change you're going to see here that we normally don't do in our classes is down here by the feet. So she is up on her heels. Now, the standard for this movement is when Rox pulls, the shoulder, elbows must be in line with the body. Now, you can also pull and break parallel as well. The standard though for this test must be shoulder, elbow are in line with the hip. So, for women, you have to complete, between the age category of 36 and 55, you must complete 15 TRX rows. So Rox is now going to do 15. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, one standard that you can do in here is you are allowed to break up your repetitions. So if you get tired after 7, take a breather and come back in. There is no time limit on this one. Once you've completed 15, you now get a minute and 15-second break before proceeding on to squats.
Hey guys, so now we're on to exercise number 2, body weight squats. Coach Greg and Dara are going to take it from here.
Alright, so with the squat, a couple things that we want to go over before we get started is this one's a little different where we're not going to squat with our arms straight out. All the rules that we've been enforcing in our classes still apply. So you're still setting back into your hips, you're driving out with the knees, you must come down to parallel. So what parallel means is that hip must come in line with the knee. If you break parallel, that is okay. We're not going to stop you from breaking parallel or penalize you, but you must come down knee to hip in line. What will happen if you do not hit that standard, you will hear us say no rep or doesn't count, but we will give you an indication that that does not count for that repetition and you must repeat it. Now, what Dara is going to demonstrate is when she comes down into her squat, the arms are going to be straight out, back is nice and neutral, butt drives back, weight is on the heels, and she will now proceed to do the squat.
Timer. Yep.
Perfect. So, what you will have to achieve in this section is, for men and women, is 40 squats within a 2-minute time frame. Now, in that 2 minutes, you are allowed to break up your repetitions. So if Dara wants to stop after 20, she has a 3-second break that she can take before she has to recommence. Once I give her that countdown to say 3 seconds is up, she has to restart back in. Now, what you also have the ability to do is once you are finished, if you are done within that 2-minute time cap, let's say a minute and a half, you have your 30 seconds plus your minute 15 break before transitioning into the next movement. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to set my timer for that 2-minute time cap, and we're going to get Dara to complete 40 of these squats. So 3, 2, 1, go ahead, Dara. Good, good depth. You can see she's breaking parallel. She's got good pace. Good job. Down and up. She's got a nice neutral head. Eyes are forward. Notice how the arms are still straight out. You are not allowed to break your arms. So if you are coming down with the arms straight out, they must remain straight out on the entire movement. Good job. You're 45 seconds in there. Heels. Perfect, you're a minute in. So you notice now she's taking a breather, which you are allowed. She's a minute, 5 seconds into her movements. Good job, good depth. Excellent. Good job. Good, she's got a couple more left. And time. So Dara finished with 1 minute 27 seconds. So now she has that 33 seconds on top of her 1 minute 15-second break before she would move on to level 3.
Hey guys, we're on to the next exercise. This one here is the 18-inch box push-up, and I'm being told to back up here. It's the 18-inch box push-up. Gonna hand it over to Coach Greg. I'm gonna do the push-up because I'm the push-up guy. All right, Coach, what are we doing?
All right, so in our gym, we've got the one 18-inch box that you'll be using in the facility here. What you must do, and this is how we start all of our beginners off when you come into our facility, Kurt included, is you will come and establish your push-up position on the box. So you'll start with your hands, coming down onto the box. You can choose to go wide or narrow here. So you can bring the hands out wider or go narrow. It'll all depend on where those elbows are going. So depending on your strength and what you're comfortable with will really impact where those elbows go. So from here, what you want to establish once you get your hands in place is that your feet get walked out so that your body is now in a straight line. So your shoulders are nice and tight and packed together. You are in a straight line all the way down. When you commence this movement, you will start to break at the elbows and your chest will come down to the box, just like so. So one thing that we will no rep you on, and I'll get Kurt to show this, is as he starts bringing his chest down to the box, he'll lose his hips and his hips will dive towards the floor. That would be a no rep. If you struggle on your form and technique on any part of this movement and it does not meet the standard, that will consider to be a no rep. So, hands in place, you will come down nice and low to the box with your chest first. As you can see, Kurt is putting a mat down, so if you do want the mat for some extra comfort on the hands, that is okay. That will not be counted as, changing this movement in any standard. So, for men, Kurt has 20 repetitions to do, and there is no time limit. However, we want to challenge you guys, and we will set that you have a 2-minute time limit in this movement. That also goes for women as well. So he has 20 to complete in 2 minutes, taking breaks whenever he feels he needs to.
Right?
Yep.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Perfect. Now, with that self-imposed time frame, Kurt now has approximately about 1.5 minutes or so, plus his 1:15 break before moving on to the 4th movement.
Guys, really important too, their push-up at the bottom, chest touch, at the top, arms have to lock out. Cool.
Hey guys, so the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate here in the Fitranx Level 1 testing is the static bridge. Now, We have different categories in terms of obviously men and women. However, we also have age categories. So for this example, Dara falls within our age category of female, age 36 to 55. That means you have to complete this static bridge for 1.5 minutes. Now, Dara, as you can see, is on the ground already, ready to go. What you're going to have to achieve in this position is you're going to drive the hips up so that you are now forming a straight line between your knees, hips, and shoulders. Your glutes are squeezed. The feet are going to have to be elevated off the ground. So heels planted, toes up. Head and arms are also planted on the floor. They will not move. Now, once you get into that position, you must hold for 1.5 minutes. If you break form at any time, you automatically fail. This one is a no given any credit to anything apart from what's happening. So, you break form, you are done. So, we're going to set the timer. Dara will now complete this for 1.5 minutes. I'll give her cues throughout, so I'll tell her about every 30 seconds where she stands so that she knows. Alright, Dara. So, we're going in 3, 2, 1, go ahead. So super important here, guys, while you're holding this stretch for this 1.5 minutes, it is going to be important to breathe. You do not want to hold your breath here. So nice, shallow, short breaths. Keep the heart rate moving, right? Try and bring the hips up just a little bit, Dara. There you go. So you notice that I gave her a little bit of a cue there to bring the hips up. So her hips started to drop a little bit. As a coach and as a judge in this program, we are allowed to give minor form corrections to an extent. If throughout this movement, and you're 43 seconds in, if in this movement I have to warn her multiple times, it counts as a strike against you, and it's a 3-strike rule. So if you get 3 strikes, the test is done. If it's a major form correction that I have to give, you are done right away. Good job, Dara. We're into a minute. You have 30 seconds left. Keep squeezing. Good. Bring those toes up just a little bit. Perfect. Almost there. 20 seconds. Go 15 seconds there. Keep going. 10 seconds. Good job. 3, 2, 1, time. So she's now completed a 1.5 minute movement. She now gets 1 minute and 15 seconds to take a breather before moving on to her next round.
Hey guys, we're into exercise 5 of the level 1 challenge, and this one is going to be just the standard plank for time, and Coach Greg and Coach Rox, take it away.
Alright, so once again, this is a movement that should not be foreign to any one of us here at the gym, is the standard plank. Now, the one thing we're going to be strict on here is form. So you must have that straight line running down the entire back, and at no point in this are you allowed to reset. So once you are in your position, you are locked in there, and in this case, it is going to be a 60-second hold for men and women in our age category. Now, so Rox is going to come down. She's going to establish getting into her arm position first. So she's going to ensure here, guys, that the shoulder and the elbow are in line with each other, right? And the weight is stacked on her forearms. From there, she's going to establish and make sure that her shoulders, hips, glutes, knees, and heels all form a straight line, right? You are on your toes, right? We are not allowed to go from our knees on this one, so this is really going to challenge a lot of us here at the gym. So, like I said, 60 seconds for this movement, so we're going to set the timer. And Rox will begin in 3, 2, 1. So, really important here, guys, once again, I mentioned this in our last video, is breathe. Short, shallow breaths on this will help keep you nice and tight and concentrated. You want to really make sure that you're squeezing the glutes, as well as squeezing your core and into your lower back. Right? That is going to help keep everything concentrated and keep your weight distributed evenly. Now, if at any point you start to break this position, the coach has the right to either stop the test or give you a minor form correction to adjust. So make sure that you do this right in practice before heading into this test. Rox is 40 seconds in. Drop, 15 seconds to go. Good, final 10. Drop, keep squeezing, keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. So she has now completed a minute plank and is now eligible to move on to the next level after her minute and 15-second break.
Hey guys, listen, here we are, exercise number 7, the last of the strength/conditioning one before we go to a purely cardio finisher. One important thing that Greg mentioned in the other video, this is all done in stages. If you fail at any stage, you're done the test, right? So that's, like I said, this is about standards, this is about working towards something. So a little later on, once this video is out, we want you guys to watch this. But if you're not sure if you're ready, you're going to stop myself, Coach Greg, Dara, or Rox, so you can show us, we can tell you about the exercise, you can show us, and if you can demonstrate good form, that's how we're going to basically let you know when you're ready to test, right? We don't want you to go up and test if you're not ready, but at the same token, we don't want you to walk in there and be totally surprised, right? There is standards, and we're going to fight for that, and that's really important. But again, that's who we are here at Hostyle, right? Getting stronger and fitter with good standards. That's always about form here. So we're going to move on into the kettlebell swing. Coach Greg is going to take it from here.
All right, so on the kettlebell swing, we have gone over this time and time again, and I know I repeat myself in all these videos. However, should be nothing new to a lot of us here. What we are going to look for, and I'm going to come on a side angle for this, is you're going to hinge at your hips forward like this, okay? Enough to allow the kettlebell to come through and pass safely through the legs, right? From here, the shoulders are back, your head and neck are in a neutral position, and you have a small bend in your knee. From here, as you start to drive that kettlebell up, which requires you to squeeze the glutes and drive with the hips, you're going to drive up in this motion. As you come up, that kettlebell will come. You are going to stop shoulder height. So you are shoulder height, which means you're hitting your chin to nose. We do not want to see half reps down here. We do not want high reps up here. The reason why I talk about the high rep is some of these weights for a lot of us are going to be lighter than what you're used to. So it is really going to put an emphasis on that form and technique. You're going to find that you are going to have to squeeze your glutes and your hips a lot more than you would on your regular swing. So from the front, it would look like this, up, standard. So I'm going to show a couple before we go into our timed event. From here, in the male category, we have to do 50 swings in 2 minutes. Once again, I can break up those reps in that time frame if I need a break. So just as an example, right, you are up, hinge forward, drive with the hips and lock, right, drive with the hips and lock. From the side, hinge, drive, hinge and drive. Now, one other thing before we start, I want to go over your elbows. A lot of us will get into a kettlebell swing where the elbows stay tight to the body and we have a break in the elbow. That is a no rep. Arms are fully extended. They must separate from the body. You are not allowed to do little half reps like this. Fully extended. From the front, fully extended. Now, when I'm doing my 50 reps in 2 minutes, for myself in this age category, I have to use a 12-kilo kettlebell. Once again, really light, as for example, I use a 24. So this is half the weight, so it's going to really put an emphasis. So Dara's going to time me for this, and I'm going to complete that 50 seconds.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Are you going 3, 2, 1.
Ten.
Good job, Greg. 20 seconds in. Seconds.
How many is that?
40? So from here, I now have 1 minute and 15 seconds. Take a break and I move on to our conditioning portion of this workout.
Guys, if you made it this far, you're almost done. Listen, it's the last part, the cardio component. Which Greg's gonna go over it, then he's gonna do it. It's a little bit of cardio, you guys can do it, you're almost there, right? Now it's time for the big push, let's check it out.
All right guys, so as Kurt said, this is our last final push. This is our tri-set of conditioning. So that means there are 3 movements you're having to do back to back to back. Now, before I get into the standards on this one for each movement, I want to talk about breathing, which is super important again because you're now testing your cardio level. As well, weight-wise, you have to see the coach because this one is determined based on body weight. So you need to have an idea of how much you weigh. If you don't, we have a scale in the office that we can weigh you to get a true test. So for me, I am using a 20 kilo kettlebell, and I'll show you what you'll be doing with that movement. So, for seal jacks, a little different than what we're normally used to on jumping jacks. What has to happen is the arms are out straight. You will cross the arms over in a scissor-like motion. While you are doing this, it comes down to your feet. Your feet will also cross in a scissor-like motion, scissor-like motion. So in a faster paced way, it's here, like this, right? Crossing over every time. If you do not cross over every time, it is a no rep. We will be watching for that. Next movement is a suitcase carry. So, like I said, I have a 20 kilo kettlebell. I am standing tall. Shoulders are nice and tall, nice and back, head is back. I'll walk with the kettlebell. Halfway through this motion, the coach or judge will tell you to switch hands. You have 3 seconds to switch hands, so you can't do this. Take a break, back up and go. It must be, I'm walking, your coach will give you a cue which they will determine with you before you start so you know. In this case, Daryl will tell me to switch. 3 seconds and go, and you are walking back and forth. The last movement is a mountain climber, okay? You are down, hands loaded under your shoulders, nice straight positioning similar to your plank. Here, your knees must come to your chest. So they come up and back, and you alternate. Now, in faster motion, it'll look like this. A no rep in this instance will be if you do not fully extend that leg back. Now, to combine these all together, the seal jacks, my age category, I will have 25 seconds to do those seal jacks. I have a 5-second transition time to move into the suitcase carry. Halfway through that 25 seconds, you'll hear the coach or judge tell you to switch. You switch hands. 25-second round ends. You move into 25 seconds of mountain climbers after your 5-second transition time. After the mountain climbers, you then have 1 minute break. So it's 3 rounds with a minute rest period after each round. Okay, so Dara's going to be my timer on this one, and we will start when she gives me the countdown.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Five seconds in. Left. Keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We got 5 seconds. Switch. Here we go. Good job, Greg. 10 seconds in. Keep breathing. 5 seconds left. Keep it going nice and strong right to the end. 3, 2, and 1. Good job.
So, you now have a minute break. From there, you'll do that 2 more rounds.
Hey guys, so there you go. That's round 1, level 1 of the Fitranx testing. As you can see in the board, a lot of you have seen this coming up in the gym for the last week or two. The standards are here. If you're younger than the 36 to 55, see Dara or Greg and we'll get you what the standards are for that. Absolutely, we have some younger clients here. We'd love to see the testing. But again, it's scaling up for age, scaling up for gender, and also the one thing about the body weight is for the farmer walk, it's a percentage of your body weight that you have to carry. We want to do our first testing October 8th. That's a Sunday. We're going to have a couple coaches here. We want 5 people to sign up for it. Guys, it's free. We're not charging our members for this. This is so you guys keep pushing your training envelope and stuff. And as you can see, when you're watching it, there's going to be some exercises that are going to be challenging for you. That's good. Bring up your form, bring up your technique in the next week or two to get ready for it. And then we're starting with 5, but when we test every couple of weeks, we'll have more and more people. And here's the other thing too, guys. A lot of you jumped ahead and went online on YouTube and watched the Fitranx stuff. That's great, right? I don't care about level 2. I don't care about level 7, all right? It's all about level 1. And the way it works is you don't get to test level 2 until you've completed level 1. This is meant to be an ongoing thing that could take you upwards of 2 years to get to level 8, if you can do level 8. Some of the shit level 8 is crazy, right? But it's all about challenging yourself. And as you increase your fitness and strength and get through one level, then we're going to start putting out what's level 2 is, so you can start training towards that, right? So you can keep moving forward in your training. Makes a big difference. Some standards, something to shoot for, some goals, some big whys, makes a huge difference in your training, all right? So we're pretty excited to get this going. We're waiting to see who the first 5 are going to be. Make sure you talk to Coach Greg as well, and so he can test you out in a few of the exercises, a couple of reps, to make sure that you're ready. And if not, he's going to give you some cues what to work on. We've already started doing a little bit in class, which is exciting, right? We want you to test yourself. We want you to challenge yourself, but understand, we want you to do well. And if you can't complete one of the rounds, one of the sets, right, that's where it stops. And then you go back to the drawing board, work on your weaknesses, and test again. All right, guys, this is going to be exciting. I'm really pumped. It's fantastic. We're excited to have Fitranx with us, and we'll talk to you guys later.